1 year ago, I did a program review on the world record jump program by Christopher Spell, and I was highly impressed. The thing that impressed me the most is that he went from a 38.5-inch standing vertical jump to a 44.5-inch standing vertical jump, and then shortly thereafter to a 46.5-inch standing vertical jump, all while following the principles and the exercises in his world record jump program. Now come to find out that Christopher Spell has created a world record jump academy that is 10 times better and goes into way more detail than his world record jump program ever did. But before I get ahead of myself, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Nathanael Morton, and I am a sports performance coach who specializes in basketball players. I coach a high school basketball team here in Pittsburgh. I train multiple high-level college and professional basketball players. I have helped thousands of athletes increase their vertical jump with my own vertical jump programs, and I've done reviews on other vertical jump programs, everything from Vert Code Elite to Vert Shock to THP Strength. So number one, I do know what I'm talking about when I do this vertical jump review, and number two, I know what it takes and I know what is supposed to be included in a vertical jump program for you, the athlete, to get as much out of it as possible. So I'm going to tell you today whether or not the World Record Jump Academy is worth your money. So let's dive into it. First thing is first, you can already tell that the World Record Jump Academy is way cleaner, it's way smoother, and has way more packed into it than the World Record Jump program ever did. The old jump program was just a PDF, whereas this World Record Jump Academy is an entire online portal. You can see here on the side that there are multiple main sessions such as classes in session, Jump 101, fundamental concepts of vertical jump, jump nutrition fueling guide, rest and recovery guide, and there are multiple subsections to each main section, such as for the nutrition fueling guide, we have introduction to nutrition, we have the overweight athlete, the lean athlete, hydration, etc., etc. So one of the great things about this World Record Jump Academy is that it is actually an academy. Imagine that. It is meant to take you step by step through this course so that you, number one, learn as much as possible about how to increase your vertical jump and jump higher, and number two, learn everything that you need to know about his program so that you get the most results possible when you go through his program. All right, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to very quickly go through all of these main sections, and I'm going to talk about things that I saw that I really liked that can be very helpful for you as the athlete when going through the World Record Jump Academy. But if you did want to skip to the main program portion of this review, where I actually talk about the sets, the reps, the exercises, then make sure you check the chapters down below and you can skip ahead to see what is actually in the World Record Jump Academy and the program. So one thing that I loved right off the bat is the Jump 101 fundamental concepts of vertical jump training. So in here, he's giving you a lot of the science about how to increase your vertical jump. So he talks about increasing your strength, your rate of force development, your speed, your explosiveness. He talks about jump technique and jump repetition. He talks about injury prevention and consistency. So this was one of my favorite parts because you guys know me, I'm a nerd and I love to learn as much as possible. Another key point that I really liked was in his section on increasing muscular speed and rate of force development. And in this section, he talks about how one of the biggest mistakes that he sees with athletes doing plyometrics is that they do not measure their plyometrics. And I completely agree with this, because if you don't measure your plyometrics, how could you ever progressive overload your plyometrics? And if you don't progressive overload your plyometrics, your body doesn't have anything to adapt to increase your vertical jump. He has quizzes. That is another thing that I love about the World Record Jump Academy. This is actually a course. So after you go through Jump 101, fundamental concepts of vertical jump, there is an assessment. There's a quiz at the end to make sure that you understand everything that you just learned in that section. In the Jump Nutrition Fueling Guide, you get to go shopping with Christopher Spell. I want to go shopping with Christopher Spell. Well, guess what? You can, because he actually takes you shopping with him to show you which foods that he eats to best maximize his vertical jump as an athlete. He talks about the overweight athlete. He talks about the lean athlete and whether you should be in a caloric surplus or a caloric deficit, or if you should eat at maintenance. He talks about hydration. He gives you a sample nutrition schedule. This Jump Nutrition Fueling Guide is actually one of my favorite parts. It's very fire. He has a rest and recovery guide where he talks about prevention of overtraining, which is huge. He talks about flexibility, mobility, sleep quantity and quality, which is one of my favorites. You guys know, for the diehard fans who know that I take my mouth shut every single night. He talks about ice, foam rolling, massage, etc. He talks about mentality, which is huge when it comes to vertical jump. He wants you to send him baseline measurements. Send him videos of what your vertical jump is right now. what your 2-foot approach jump looks like right now, what your 1-foot approach is right now. You send these to him so that at the end of the program, when you see your progress videos, you can see the difference between where you started and where you are now. One of my favorite parts, and then we'll go ahead and get into the actual meat and potatoes of the program, but one of my favorite parts is that he gives you 9 videos on how to improve your jump technique right now. It's called Instant Inches Jump Technique Guide, and I've looked at these videos. They are very good. They are very helpful. What he does is he actually tells you what the mistake you might be making is, and you can see whether or not you are making that mistake based on what he does. And then he gives you exercises to fix that mistake, drills and exercises based on what you might need to work on to improve your technique so that you can improve your technique with those drills and exercises. This section is huge. Last 2 things very quickly is that number 1, he has a full section on videos that his athletes have sent to him, and he breaks down their form, he breaks down their jump technique, telling them what they did right, what they did wrong, what they need to improve, so that you can see that and you can learn how to improve your technique as well. And number 2, the very last thing that you guys know that I geeked out to is that he has a full section on all of the scientific research that he used to create this vertical jump program. So you guys know that I already love that section because I love to learn. All right. The moment you've all been waiting for. Let's dive into the actual program. Let's talk about the exercises, the sets, and the reps, and whether or not this is going to actually help you increase your vertical jump as much as you hope it does. His program is broken into 3 phases, 3 adaptations. Adaptation 1 is hypertrophy, adaptation 2 is strength, and adaptation 3 is power. Now, this is the correct way that you want the phases to be structured, especially if you're a beginner. You are going to want to start with hypertrophy first, a little bit higher volume so that you can build that base foundation of strength before you get into the real strength phase, which is going to be lower reps and higher load, so heavier weights. Then after the strength phase, you will want the power phase because you will want to turn all that strength that you've just built into power, speed, and pure explosiveness. So week 1, session 1, and I'm gonna blur this out because I don't want to give away Christopher Spell's information, but we have some barbell parallel front squats, we got some box jumps, we got some hip thrusts, we got some calf raises, and we got some reverse crunches. So we're going to be hitting the full posterior chain, we got the quads, we got some plyometrics in there, we got the calves, and we got some core, which is very important for your vertical jump. You are going to be starting with higher sets and reps because this is the hypertrophy phase, and then in the strength phase, as you go on, I've already gone through this entire program. I didn't actually go through the program, but I've looked through the program and studied it so that I could best do this video for you. But in this section, the sets and the reps are a little bit higher, being that this is the volume phase, the hypertrophy phase. The layout of the program is 3 workouts per week, so it might be, for example, a Monday, a Wednesday, and a Friday, and the other days are going to be rest days. You'll do 4 weeks of workouts, 3 days per week, and then every 5th week is a deload week where he tells you do 70% of everything that you've been doing. So if you've been doing, 100 pounds just to make it easy on the back squat, this week do 70 pounds, 70% of everything that you've been doing so that we don't completely rest for a week, but we do get a deload, which will allow for super compensation to occur so that your body gets used to all the workouts that you've been doing, and all of those results can come to fruition in the form of a higher vertical jump. Now, one thing that I would say, and one thing that I would do if I were Christopher Spell, is I would add links to each exercise so that you can click that link and see how to perform that exercise. Now, in my last review of his last vertical jump program, he did not have links. He said just Google the exercises or send him a message on Instagram. He will tell you how to do that exercise. There is an exercise library in this course that goes through every single exercise that he has in this program so that you can see exactly how to do it. However, Christopher Spell, if you are watching this video, I would link the exercises right there in the program so that where it says week 1, session 3, barbell top down Romanian deadlifts, we can literally just click that and it will take us to an unlisted video on YouTube. I know that will be very tedious. However, it would be very helpful for your athletes going through the course. Week 3, session 1, we have barbell parallel front squats, we have box jumps, we have some hip thrusts, we have calf raises, and we have hanging reverse crunches. So you will notice that each week, weeks 1, week 2, week 3, and week 4 are exactly the same. So I'll tell you that right here. Week 1 is the same as week 2, is the same as week 3, is the same as week 4. Now, this isn't a bad thing because I've looked through this vertical jump program, and there are certain specific exercises that I feel that every single program should have in them. Every program should have some form of squat. Every program should, in my opinion, have some form of deadlift, should have some form of rear foot elevated split squat. Every program needs to have sprints. Every program needs to have approach jumps. This is just to create a good vertical jump program. These are the best exercises. There's a little cheat code for you to improve your vertical jump. And his program has every single one of those exercises in it. He checks all the boxes on proper exercises to increase your vertical jump. However, as I just said, it is very repetitive. Week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4 are the same. It's not a bad thing. Just make sure that you progressive overload. All that your body cares about is stimulus. Are you stimulating your body enough to force it to adapt and change? So you can do that with the same exercises week after week after week after week, or you can do that with different exercises week after week. But I argue that it's probably better to do the same exercises so that you can make sure that you progressive overload to make your body adapt each time. I do think that's enough on adaptation 1. Just understand that this is the hypertrophy phase. You are going to be doing a little bit of higher reps, building that base strength, so that when you get into the actual strength phase, you're going to be ready when you go with heavier weights. This program is 30 weeks long, by the way. So you have 4 weeks, then a deload, then another 4 weeks, another deload, and then you move into the next phase. So week 11 is the start of the strength phase, phase 2, adaptation 2. And for example, how I was talking about the higher reps in phase 1, we had barbell parallel back squat for 5 to 7 reps in adaptation 1, but now that we are in adaptation 2, the strength phase, we have 3 to 4 reps. So you are going to be able to go heavier for less reps, 3 to 4 reps. Week 11, session 2, we have box jump. So you are getting a lot of weights. So if you don't have access to weights, this is not the program for you, because I think he has a body weight version coming out, but you do use weights in this program. But you also have a lot of plyometrics. So you have a great mix of weighted exercises, strength exercises, and a great mix of plyometric speed exercises. And just to finish off week 11, session 2, we have a Palloff press, and then we have jump technique, which every second workout in the week is a jump technique day. So you are going to be doing a lot of jumping, a lot of jump technique. So you are really going to be repping out jumping, which Michael Jordan said, the most important exercise for you to do to jump higher is jumping. Week 13, session 3, just to give you another example of a workout in the strength phase, we have barbell jump form deadlift. So just a deadlift mimicking your jump form. We have box jumps, we have drop jumps, which that's another one I think should be in every vertical jump program. Depth or drop jumps should really be included. We have Nordic hamstring curls, and we have barbell parallel back squats. Once again, the strength phase, just like the hypertrophy phase, is the same workouts week after week. So on Monday, you have workout A, on Wednesday, workout B, and on Friday, workout C. And then the next week on Mondays, workout A, workout B, workout C, workout A, workout B, workout C for 4 weeks, and then you'll have your deload week. So the strength phase is very similar to the hypertrophy phase in that manner. Moving on to adaptation 3, which is the power phase and the final adaptation. An example of a workout, week 21, session 3, we have max approach vertical jumps, we have barbell jump form deadlifts, we have barbell Romanian deadlifts, we have repeat single leg pogo jumps. There were pogo jumps. There's a handful of different, I know I'm not giving you a lot of workouts, but there's a handful of different exercises, different strength exercises, different plyometrics that are going to help you increase your vertical jump as much as possible. And then we finish off this workout with Smith machine explosive parallel back squats, 4 sets of 6 reps at 35% of your 1 rep max. Why so light? Because with 35% of your 1 rep max, you can move the weights as fast as possible. With 90% of your 1 rep max, you can't move that very fast. So that is why I believe that he has 35% of your 1 rep max. And the reason he might do it on a Smith machine is because there's no balance that comes into play. It's really just a bar. A Smith machine just goes straight up and down. So you can really get power from the bottom to the top as fast as possible to increase your vertical jump as much as possible. And guys, this is basically it. At this point, you get the gist, you get how his program is structured, but what I'm going to do right now is talk about all the positives of the World Record Vertical Jump Academy, and then I'm going to talk about all the negatives or things that I think that he could improve on. So let's get into that right now. The positives to this academy are plentiful, okay? So first of all, there is so much information packed into the World Record Jump Academy. This is legitimately a course. So from everything from science to nutrition to jump technique to research studies, there is tons of information that you can read and digest and learn to increase your vertical jump as much as possible. Another thing that I love that you can tell really improved from his last world record vertical jump program is that now he has exercise demonstrations. Before, he just said, Google the exercises or DM me on Instagram and I'll show you what to do. Now, there is a full exercise library of exactly what to do for each exercise so that you can follow the program properly. One major key and major positive to this program is that you will feel fresh on this program. You will still feel fresh. A lot of the programs I see are so much volume, they want to put every exercise for a bunch of sets, a bunch of reps, and you really don't need that much to increase your vertical jump. High intensity, but lower volume is oftentimes much better than high intensity, higher volume. You're just going to break down your muscles, your tendons, your central nervous system. And with his program, it is not too much volume. It's the perfect amount of volume for you to really still feel fresh week to week and see those increases on your vertical jump. The phases, the exercises, the sets, and the reps were set up properly. That's another thing that I've seen in the past with other vertical jump programs is that the phases aren't exactly correct. There's exercises that are too intense that they throw right at the beginning of the program. Like in one program, day one, they had hurdle jumps. That is hurdle jumps are way too intense for a week one, day one workout. So I love that in this World Record Jump Academy, the phases, the exercise, the sets, and the reps are set up properly. And last but not least, the main positive of this program is that it will help you increase your vertical jump. Isn't that what we're all looking for? It has the best exercises that you can possibly do, progressive overloaded properly, and that's really, what more can you ask for? The best exercises, progressive overloaded properly to cause an adaptation in your body and force your body to jump higher. We really can't ask for more. That is what this program does, and that is why I do highly recommend the World Record Jump Academy. But let's not forget the negatives. Let's go through those right now. The negatives, ladies and gentlemen, there were a lot. I'm just kidding. There barely were any negatives, and the negatives that I'm about to point out had nothing to do with the program itself, nothing to do with the exercises, the sets, and the reps, which is good. If you have any negatives with any program, you don't want it to be with the actual workouts. So the negatives that I did see and that I came across were that once we got past the knowledge portion in the course, the actual program and the actual workouts were just a little plain. We just came from this great knowledge section where everything was just, there were videos for everything. We were following you through the supermarket. We were living, we were sleeping in Christopher Spell's house. Not really, but it was so good. And then we get to the program and it's just like, it would be like single sentences of jump technique. If I were Christopher Spell, what I would do is I would just put clickable links. If you want to go above and beyond, you could even put a video with just a breakdown of each workout. It wouldn't be that tough because you would just need to make 3 videos, and then those 3 videos, since your program is repeated, you could just have those videos repeated. But I would make videos just going through the workout for that day and say, hey guys, Christopher Spell, welcome to week 1, day 1. Today you're gonna make sure you do the World Record Jump Academy warm-up. Then you're gonna make sure that you do this exercise for these sets and reps. When you're doing this, make sure you're being explosive. And when you do this, make sure you focus on your hamstrings, whatever it might be. But I would just put little overview videos instead of just having no video and then having just text there with no clickable links. Now, that is much easier said than done for me. I'm not the one who has to go in there and do all the tedious work. That is Christopher Spell. So you can take this or leave it. But all in all, that is the only negative that I had from this program. There's nothing wrong with this program internally. This is a great program that he is using to still increase his vertical jump. This man has a 50-inch running vertical jump. My athletes, they have 40-inch vertical jumps, and I think that they're flying. This dude has a 50. Imagine just watching that. It's wild. But anyways, this program is legit. I highly recommend it. And if you do this, whether you're a beginner or an intermediate or an advanced athlete, the World Record Jump Academy, you are going to learn tons of information. And doing the program, you are going to increase your vertical jump. And if you repeat it over and over like Christopher Spell does, you are going to continue to increase your vertical jump, progressive overloading along the way, forcing your body to adapt and get higher and higher and higher. That's all I have for you. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.